Alright guys, we're back for the news today, and it just seemed like there wasn't as much news this last week, so a smaller one today. And yeah. So the most anticipated 2023 Sims 5 release date, gameplay, and everything we know. After nearly a decade of the Sims 4 content, it's time to say salala to the next entry of the franchise. In the past, a new Sims title has been released every 5 years, making the Sims 4 forthcoming 9th anniversary an unprecedented event for a developer. Sorry about that, that's my cat in the background banging on my door. Event for developer Maxis, considering the series' ever-expanding push towards a live service model. Expansion packs, this kind of longevity makes sense. After all, any devoted simmer, that's what we're calling him now, will tell you that the game is quite an investment if you're shelling out all your hard-earned simoleons on DLC. Yeah, this is one of the reasons I don't play Sims anymore. It's just kind of like, you get the main game and then all those DLC packs, they really eat you alive financially. It's crazy. Anyway, so Sims 5 incoming. It's one of those things that I kind of picked up later and just casually played a bit. I don't play Sims as much as I used to, but anyways, back to this article. It's nice to know that you have a fair bit of time left with the game before its shiny new version hits shelves. However, as we draw closer to a decade of Sims 4, many players have been asking the same question: where is Sims 5? And I don't really honestly see the point of Sims anymore, because it's basically just graphically upgraded versions of it year over year. They're basically the same DLC. I mean, they may be a bit different, but they basically reuse concepts from previous DLC, like, you know, for example, the Seasons DLCs. I shit you not, there's a new Seasons every freaking generation. And there's also the one where you have magic and stuff like that. They reuse that one twice, from what I remember. I don't know. Tell me what you guys think. Thankfully, we know that we now have some answers through Maxis has historically kept quiet about development on the new Sims games before release and revealing upcoming projects well after the bulk of development was completed. Well, it has changed with the announcement of Project Rene. That's basically its code name that they're using for Sims 5. Revealed during 2022's Behind the Sims Summit, Project Rene is a working title for the next generation of The Sims, presumably to be titled The Sims 5, according to What else would they name it? I mean, come on. They're probably one of the few series that sticks to the numeral and numbered system, similar to how PlayStation sticks with that with their consoles. It would be insane for them to switch it. According to Maxis, the studio behind the popular life simulation franchise, Simmers have quite a long wait until they will be able to play the series' next installment. However, this wait is for a good reason. Throughout now and launch, the developers at Maxis can share content and use player feedback to create a game more in line with the fan expectations than ever before. Here's everything you need to know about the upcoming game ahead of its release. Why it's called Project Rene. According to Maxis, the name Project Rene was chosen to be reminiscent of words like renewal, renaissance, and rebirth, as well as represent the team's renewed commitment for the Sims' bright future. It is uncertain if any part of the working title will make its way into the game's final name. Yeah, I don't think it will. I think they're just going to call it Sims 5 and call it a day. Platforms. While there is no official list of platforms, this next iteration of The Sims will be available, and it feels safe to assume you'll be able to play games. PC, it's going to be on PC. It's going to be on Xbox, obviously. When I first started playing Sims, it was on PC, so why else would they change that? In addition, footage shown during the game's reveal indicates players will be able to switch between their primary mode of play to their mobile devices seamlessly, indicating that Project Rene will also be able to be available on mobile. This will be different, from what I can understand, because I don't think they've done this before, or if they did, it very seldom. Like, I don't know, maybe I feel like phones are getting to the point where you can literally put AAA games on them. But that's just something they weren't able to do years ago. During the behind-the-scenes summit, Max has stated the Project Rene is still extremely early in development, and as such, it seems to highly unlikely a full version of the game will be released on any time before 2024. However, the team did soften this blow by stating they intend to share updates and in-progress work across the next few years, and we use player feedback to help aid the ambitious title's development. That's interesting too, because they're not the only company that's doing this with early in development games. Seems like ever since I hesitant to say that. I'll probably cut that out, but ever since you know what happened, it seems like developers are more willing to share pieces of unfinished games throughout the years before they come out. So I've noticed that. One of the highlights of Sims 5 reveal was the announcement of the game's cross-progression and cross-platform compatibility. So probably going to includes cloud saves too, so you guys can switch between PC or console or your mobile device. Person showed how the Sims 5 players will be able to seamlessly switch back and forth between their mobile devices and PC while using the same save file. Basically what you can do with Xbox. This has demonstrated early technology tests on how you can play the game across supported devices if you're choosing same experience, different screens. Pearson said Maxis has yet to announce the full list of what devices will have access to this feature. I would assume all of them. I mean, you're playing it on mobile, PC, and Xbox. Xbox already has the feature, so I'm just assuming it's going to be on Xbox at this point, guys. I know it doesn't say it here, but The Sims 4 is on Xbox. Come on. 5 is not yet available to pre-order, obviously. It's in early development. Why else would they have it up for pre-order? We'll be sure to update the section when you're able to pick it up, and all the potential bonus content your pre-order will come with as soon as you can. Product discussed here were dependently chosen by our editors. I don't know, a lot of stuff here, even though the game is not anywhere near being out, so I just figured I'd cover it, because I keep seeing Sims 5 Project Rene in the news, and I'm just like, you know what, we'll do an update on that since I last talked about it, because it seems like they keep putting new information out. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet has Cinderance raid on the way, and this is out today. Just ignore everything, because this article is from December 19th. I'm just going over it because it's out today, you know. I plan to jump in and try to beat this thing tomorrow. Goddamn. Or today, not tomorrow. But, yeah, it's gonna be freaking hard. I just tried to do a 6-star raid yesterday, and got my clocks cleaned. Yeah, of course I've done 6-star raids before and won, but this one was kinda irritating me. Anyways, the year is almost over, but the Scarlet and Violet are getting at least one more raid before this calendar turns, as reported by Cerebi. The raid for this game is a 7-star terror raid battle that will let trainers fight and catch a Cinderance. And this isn't in the game, as with Charizard, you can't get it in-game. You can only, well, through normal means, so. It's in the Pokédex. It's not in the game, so. It's a special event one. As you might expect, Cinderance isn't catchable in either game in any form, so players who are looking to fill out their Pokédex as much as possible will want to check it out through Cinderance is usually a Fire-type Pokemon. This special raid Cinderance will be of the special fighting Terra type, and will have a Mightiest mark to show that it was caught during the raid, and basically the same as Charizard will have that mark. And I have yet to know, I doubt that you need it to complete your Pokédex and get the Shiny Charm, but it's probably one of those side Pokemon that's programmed into the game, and you don't really need to qualify to complete your Pokédex. I don't know. I'm just assuming, because it was like that in prior games. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet are generally considered two of the better entries in the series in recent. I don't know how it got that, personally speaking, with how much problems that the game has had in launch, but The open world's fun, so I get it to some degree. If it didn't have all the bugs, yeah, we'd be 100% talking here. Nintendo recently promised to rectify the two games' performance issues, which caused a large number of Pokemon fans to demand refunds in the first week after release. Yeah, that happened. Anyway, so Microsoft's road to acquire Activision Blizzard has been a rocking one, to say the least. The most recent and significant roadblock comes from the American Federal Trade Commission, America, FTC, which filed a lawsuit a few weeks ago to prevent the deal from going through. Why? Because they're being lobbied by Sony, and Sony's, I don't know what they're thinking anymore. Microsoft has fired back with a response saying the FTC is violating the Fifth Amendment rights to due process. And ever since Citizens United, corporations apparently have rights. But, hey. Beside that, I'm on Microsoft's side here. I'm joking. But, I don't know. It's a bullshit lawsuit, so I can see that. But the full document, which you can read here, claims that the deal should be allowed to go through for several other reasons, as well as stating that Xbox and Activision Blizzard are just two of hundreds of games publishers that claims that the FCC violates the Constitution are listed on page 34 and are just a handful of defense against the lawsuits in a list of 24. While the basis of FTC's lawsuit in the Microsoft deal will suppress the competition by limiting access to certain titles, Microsoft's response claims that Xbox wants to grow its presence in mobile gaming, and 3/4 of Activision gamers and more than a third of its revenue come from mobile offerings. The FTC does not appear to be concerned with this. Their complaint excludes mobile gaming as a relevant market and instead focuses on the fact that Microsoft will own one of the largest game franchises in the world, Call of Duty. And they basically gave Sony Call of Duty on a silver platter at this point. I mean, they're like, oh, well, we're more interested in the mobile title, so, you know, we'll continue putting it on your platform at a fee, of course. And they didn't take it. Even offered them PlayStation Plus. So I don't know what to say at this point. They are genuinely looking at that mobile stuff. I thought it was a joke before, but it seems that they actually are. God of War Ragnarok New Game Plus coming in spring, and I believe the first one has this. I could be wrong though. Santa Monica Studio has announced that God of War Ragnarok, which hits PlayStation consoles last month, is getting a New Game Plus mode in spring. This news comes by the way of a short and sweet tweet posted today by the studio that says Spring 2023 is when fans can expect the feature of hit Ragnarok. As for what to expect through, the video still says it'll share more details when we get closer to the release. It's already out, so that's a moot point. While many had hoped Ragnarok would launch with a New Game Plus mode built into its arrival after the game's release, it isn't surprising God of War 2018 receives it. Yeah, there you go. New Game Plus mode after launch as well. For now, we wait until it's spring. I basically just said that earlier. I wasn't so sure if it did, though. That just confirmed it for me. And if you guys don't have, if you guys have never played Fallen Order in lieu of Jedi Survivor's eventual release here. The PS Plus games include Jedi Fallen Order, Fallout 76, and Axiom Verge 2. So there you go. If you haven't played it yet, get it with your PlayStation Plus subscription, and I recommend it. It's a really good game. Just in time for the new year, Sony has revealed the next batch of free games coming to PlayStation Plus. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, Fallout 76, and Axiom Verge 2 will be available to download for all tiers of PS Plus starting Tuesday, January 3rd. PlayStation has not announced that the new titles are coming to the extra premium tiers, but says they will be announced soon. So, I'm not really sure on the tier. I had articles. I've seen articles for this different site I want to use, but I couldn't find them on here, so I just went with the Amazon ones or Yahoo Finance ones because I've seen these in multiple places. I already know that these are a fact at this point. Amazon to publish Tomb Raider title and boost their gaming ambitions, so they're getting into gaming publishing. Bloomberg announced Amazon Inc. has struck an agreement with the video game developer Crystal Dynamics to release the next title in the popular Tomb Raider franchise, giving a boost to its e-commerce giant struggling gaming ambitions. The next installment in a single-player adventure chronicled the British archaeologist Lara Croft is yet to be named or have a release date, according to a statement from Amazon. The title is in early development with California-based Crystal Dynamics, which will take the storytelling to the next level in the biggest and most expansive Tomb Raider game to date, Amazon said. The agreement expands the Seattle-based company's game publishing efforts under the Amazon Game Studios, which set out to develop titles and get about 8 years ago, but has had only limited success so far. It's kind of hard to break into a market it's literally everybody's in. Amazon announced 3 games in 2016: New World, Breakaway, Crucible. Breakaway was canceled, Crucible was released and unreleased, then also canceled. Other projects include one codenamed Nova and Intensely we've shelved before they were even revealed. God, yeah, rocky is the word for it. Yeah, I don't know. As I said, gaming is kind of hard to get into as a company because there are already too many big companies in it. And it was just something you had to get into earlier on, you wouldn't have made it. Next Tomb Raider game being published by Amazon Games, more details emerge. Yeah, I'll just leave this in the description, I just wanted to brief that. I think this is the same thing. Another Activision studio is unionizing. They're gonna be owned by Microsoft, so not really all that surprising you're seeing unions, seeing as everything under the sun and under Microsoft in the gaming division seems to be talking about unions at this point. Which gives me a more nefarious reason why the FTC wants to sue Microsoft, Xbox to hell and back, but I don't know, that could just be me being paranoid. But I can see the government being union busting at this point. Because I know how they have been historically. They're owned by big corporations. And hopefully YouTube does not dock me for that. But developers at the Boston-based game studio collaterally announced plans to unionize on Tuesday. If successfully, roughly 60 employees there who worked on World of Warcraft new Dragonflight expansion would join the growing ranks of organized labor across the parent company, Activision Blizzard, and beyond. The group, called Proletariat Workers Alliance, is unionizing with the Communication Workers of America and says it has a supermajority of support among qualifying staff. At the studio, while it has filed for a union election with the National Labor Relations Board, it's also calling on Activision Blizzard to voluntarily recognize the union in a break the Call of Duty publisher's attempts to stall and sabotage similar efforts as its other studios. And I love to see this stuff, as I said, guys. I'm don't really like talking about political stuff, but if you leave things up to big corporations, you're not going to get anywhere when it comes to raises or anything like that. So, you know, it's the only viable thing to actually get them to actually start paying people a living wage, personally. But hopefully there's better ways in the future, but right now this is all we got. That's just my view on that. Anyways, tell me what you guys think. Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl returns with a bang new gameplay trailer. Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl is on track to release sometimes next year. Developer GCC Game World has released its first trailer in 6 months. This game has been delayed so many freaking times. One, because of the obvious reason. I think the studio that does it is in Ukraine, right? And yeah, obviously I don't really need to mention what's going on over there. With some narrative trappings along the edges. Courtesy of IGN, the new video shows that Stalker 2 is looking pretty darn good. The narrative, props to these guys, dude. They're at war and they're somehow able to still make games that look really decent. Yeah. The narrative-driven shooter is set in Chernobyl exclusion zone in a post-apocalyptic world laden with dangerous mutations, monstrous players, must fight their way to the heart of the zone while steering the non-linear plot through a chosen-driven gameplay. Basically, Fallout. That's pretty much what we're talking about here. Firmly confirmed in 2020 after years of start and stop announcements, Stalker 2 had its tumultuous development after announcing and then quickly canceling NFT plans due to fan backlash, and for good reason. Probably good that they didn't do that because, yeah, let's just say the whole crypto market and NFT market's underwater right now. Backlash in December 2021, the project came to a screeching halt in February due to Russia's invasion of Ukraine. There it is. Where GSC is based, many employees were forced to evacuate their homes in Kiev, Ukraine's capital. Other designers chose to defend the city of one of GSC's designers who volunteered to fight, Vladimir Yesov, I think I pronounced that correctly, I probably butchered his name, sorry man, was recently killed in combat. Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl is slated to arrive on Xbox Series X and S, including Game Pass and PC in 2023. It was one of many titles to get bitten by the delay of bugs and pushed into next year, a list you can check out here. There's only one on the list. I say you guys probably should buy this game, just to support Ukraine. Personally speaking, I would. But, I don't know. Get out there, buy this title when it launches so you can support the good, fine folks fighting a war in Ukraine. I don't know. Tell me what you guys think, and any news I don't get here, I'll post on my Twitter, and I'll see you guys in the next video. As always, sources used in the video will be in the description below. Drop me a like and subscribe. If you like my videos, please ring the bell. I greatly appreciate it. Any news I don't get here, I'll post on my Twitter, and I'll see you guys in the next video.